Hey everybody, it's Rental Robert here with the Hustle Nation. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And if you haven't already checked it out, look in the description. There's a link to the store, the Hustle Nation. It's got a bunch of t-shirts, mugs, stickers, all kinds of different things. I greatly appreciate it and whatnot. So, man, I've had a number of people that have reached out to me in last couple of weeks and whatnot. And like one guy you saw that Jake Forehand that I read his book the other day and everything. He and I knew each other in high school. And actually, I might have been 12 or 13 when I first met him. And so he does coaching with people that had been in law enforcement, rose up through the ranks and everything like that, been in the real retail sector as far as with a beer distributor, Walmart, and then now he's climbing the corporate ladder having to do with Lowe's. And, we had talked about a couple months ago having to do with that book thing, and then boom, all of a sudden it was done, But one of the things he said is, I don't know what it is that you found, but you got it, and you've been running with it, and you've been doing it for a while. Then this other dude that, I went through drug rehab, he basically said the same thing. Man, I saw you 10 years ago. I came back to town. You're telling me about some things, and it's like, you've just been skyrocketing and, no holds barred, and you've just been running with it and everything. So whatever you're doing is working and everything. So I'm doing a 5-part series this week on why you're broke and how to get rich, okay? And the thing about it is that I have so many people ask me about that, and all I can do is give you the information and the suggestions, but if you don't do anything with them, then they're totally worthless, okay? Just remember, the cure for cancer is totally worthless if it sits on the shelf. Only is it valuable when it cures one person. So we'll get started in this, and this is, again, is a 5-part series. I appreciate all of you that watch the whole videos and everything. The thing about it is that the video is short enough that you're not going to be giving up that much of your time, and you might hear that one thing that puts $1 million in your pocket. So take the time, watch everything, go through it. If you can use any of it, great. If you want to take it and pass it on to other people, never have to ask me, okay? 98% of what I got's been hijacked from somebody else, and maybe I regurgitate it and water it down or beef it up, whatever, So yeah, please feel, because the thing that I want is that I want everybody to have that choice of when they wake up, if they want to do this, if they want to do that, and that, working is not a have to, that it's a choice that we make. So let's get on with this. All right. Very first thing that I want you to understand, realize, and get prepared for this journey of breaking the habits that keep you broke, start creating the habits that are going to get you rich, has to do with this right here. Emotions. I don't know what you've been told in your past. Some of you have had parents that said that being rich was terrible. I go to work every day for somebody, and all he does is he gets rich off of the other people's sweat. And the only thing that we're doing is we're making somebody else rich, and he pays me squat. I don't make anything. I don't know what you grew up with as far as money goes. What I grew up with, I knew how much my father made, okay? And I also understood that at one point, we lived in California. My parents bought a house. In less than 7 years, they sold it for almost 3 times what they paid for it. At that point, they took that money and they kept rolling it over into houses. So we always had a house that was bigger than what my dad's salary would actually buy, okay? Because they were putting large down payments on that place, each one throughout my life, okay? I moved 13 times before I was 15 years old. So we've had a number of houses in the family, but that's what they kind of did, okay? My parents weren't entrepreneurs. They were not hustlers. They were not savers. They were not investors or anything of that nature, okay? Having a nice house was very important for them, all right? The thing about it is you need to get control of these emotions, okay? On your journey to becoming rich and financially independent, you will have to do a lot of things that are not going to be favorable and will actually make you look bad. How is that? You might have to tell your kids, no, you don't get to play ball this season, or no, we're not getting the best cleats, or no, you're not getting a new bat, you're going to get a used one. Oh man, but mom, but dad, and everything like that, but hell, I don't want to be broke looking good for the Joneses. And that's what you're going to have to sit there and ask yourself, what do I want to do? Do I want to look good to others, or do I want to open up my bank book and say, yeah, I like that. I like what that represents. I like the options that I have from this amount of money sitting here right now. So you're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable. You're going to have to do things that make you look bad. You're also going to have to start to develop some self-discipline, and you're going to learn to have to tell yourself, no. I'm not going to go spend this money. No, just because I got cash in my pocket doesn't mean that I get to go out and blow it. No, I am not going to do these things. My first suggestion to you is to open up an account. This is one of the very first tricks that I did with myself, okay? What got me started was back in my early 20s, I bought a house right before I turned 21, 2 months before I turned 21. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, central heat and air, paid $25,000 for it. The payments were $225. Unfortunately, I didn't have the mindset that I do today, and I got rid of that house about 5 years later for the amount that I paid for it, okay? All I saw was going to be a hassle because my father had bought some rental properties, and within a few short months had to do 2 evictions, clean everything out. He said, that's it, I'm done, okay? He did not screen these tenants. He bought the properties and inherited the tenants. There was already problems existing. This was really before the internet and everything, so you really couldn't go and research these people to find out who they were, what they were doing, and all that kind of stuff. So, regardless, all I knew was rentals are bad. It's a hassle. People will destroy your stuff, okay? And those things are all true, okay? The other things that I didn't hear was you can make millions of dollars. You can make money while you're sleeping. You can actually buy a house, put some work into it, and then sell it for more money than what you paid for it. And get more than what you would normally make if you went to a job. Whoa, hey, sounds like making a little bit of extra money and everything. So, my mom came to me and my sister said, hey, I'll buy you all, or I'm going to spend $500 a piece for Christmas. You can get cash, you can get gifts, or I can buy you a mutual fund. What would you like? Well, at the time, this was early 90s, okay? Technology funds were the big boom right then, okay? So, me and my sister, we got this technology fund. And we made a bet, $200, on who would have more money in their mutual fund by Christmas next year. Halfway through the year, my sister gave me $100 because I let her out early. I made her an offer and there was no way she was going to catch up, or it would have taken a lot. However, the thing was that I saw this fund increase in value on a weekly basis, and I'm telling you folks, they were taking off. It was like when we first got into it, it was $14 a share. When I sold it, it was over $100 a share, okay? That money went into real estate, all right? The thing about it is that I learned that you could start making money while you were sleeping. The only way that I'd ever made money before in the past is I worked for it, okay? I physically exerted some type of energy that somebody was willing to give me money for the effort that I put out, just as most of you do, okay? I learned that I didn't have to have a hammer in my hand. I didn't have to have a shovel. I delivered pizzas. I've been a land surveyor. I've run a directional boring machine. I've done a whole bunch of different things to put money in my pocket. And I found out, guess what? There's a way that you can actually make money that you never have to lift a finger. And that was the first thing, okay? So then what I ended up doing was this whole thing really didn't take effect for me, all right? And I ended up having a roommate that was supposed to pay their bills. They didn't, and he just said one day, hey man, I'm leaving and I'll pay you when I can and everything. So I got caught short. I needed money that week. I needed a job that would not hold a week's back. And so I went back to delivering pizzas so I could eat. And I found a job landscaping that started on Tuesday and I'd be getting paid Friday. So the bills got paid and everything, but I learned you need to have a backup amount of money, okay? You need to have an emergency fund, okay? Now, here's my thing with that emergency fund is your first goal should be $2,500, okay? And that ain't a whole lot of money, folks, all right? That right there is about roughly $60 a week. Okay, in 1 year's time, if you put that away, you'll get a little bit over $2,500. So really, probably closer to about $47 a week, and you'll get that $2,500. But here's the thing: is all right. You open an account. Go and open up a savings account at a bank that you don't have internet access to and you don't have a debit card for. The only way that you're going to make a deposit or withdraw, you got to walk in there. To make a deposit, you either walk in or you send it in, okay? That's what I do with my coaching money and my YouTube money. Every check that I get from YouTube, it goes into this account, and when somebody says, hey, I want you to coach me and mentor me, they pay that money, it goes into that account, because once that account has built up enough, then I will take it and I'm going to use that to buy another house. There's a thing about it is that once you start making a deposit into that account and you start to see it grow, okay, you're going to end up starting to get a little bit excited about that. Them emotions are going to change, okay? A lot of us have negative connotations that's attached to money, okay? Maybe your parents were the type that, you know, the only way that you would ever see any type of affection from them or something of that nature is they would reward you with money. Well, if you would just do this, I'll give you some money. Or if you just do that, I'll give you some money and everything. And maybe it's not so much as, you know, doing chores, but it was something else that most of the time in a healthy relationship you should have gotten naturally, okay? Well, here's the thing though is that you got to recognize that, okay? We can't do anything about the past, but we can do something about the future going forward, okay? The biggest thing is start that account. If you can't do $2,500 in 1 year, I get it, okay? But damn it, man, start putting in $10, start putting in $20, okay? Here's the thing is that if you don't do anything, nothing's going to happen. Absolutely nothing, okay? And I believe it's within every one of you all that you can retire and be a millionaire, okay? And you can have an extra $6,000, $7,000 a month coming in plus your pension or whatever if you still got a W-2 job, okay? It's real possible, and it's a lot easier than what you think it is. However, you got to put forth some action and you got to do it now, okay? You can't wait till tomorrow. All right. The difference of waiting until tomorrow might be $250,000 by the time retirement comes around. Okay. Trust me on this. All right. So we're going to open up this account. Start putting in a weekly deposit into it. If you can do a direct deposit where the money's taken out of your account, put in that other account that you can't touch unless you walk in there, great. Best thing you'll ever do for yourself. Do it like that. I love it. Okay. So once we do that, we need to start being frugal. We got a bucket, okay? We got a financial bucket. Joe Peters talks about get your buckets right. I love that guy. Watch his stuff, okay? Look him up. But you got this bucket, all right? And you put money in it. And it's got holes in that bucket, and that money drains out to different places. Sometimes it goes to car payment, insurance, kids, sports, dining out, you know, all kinds of different things, okay? You got to get your bucket right, all right? One of the things we're going to do is start becoming frugal. Figure out where you're spending money at needlessly, cut it out, stop, okay? And once you figure out how much it is that you're spending, now you need to put that into that account, okay? Because if you're already spending it, and you stop spending it, then that means we got a surplus. That surplus needs to go here so we can get here quicker, okay? And I'm here to tell you that $2,500, once you get it, 25 grand's the next one, and that's going to be difficult. I got a good friend of mine, first person that ever told me how much $1 million cash, how many shoe boxes it takes to put $1 million cash in. And he said the first $1 million is always the hardest. He said after that, it gets easy, and it gets a lot easier on your 6th, 7th, and 8th million, okay? And the thing about it is that this right here is going to be the biggest mountain you'll ever climb. Kilimanjaro, I ain't got nothing on that right there. I assure you, if this is your first time embarking on this journey. However, people have climbed it, people have climbed Everest. You're going to hit that. I know you will, okay? Again, we got to put it in action. We got to put forth some effort. So this is going to be real strange, and it's going to feel very foreign, okay? It's going to be the same thing as when you start that new job. You walk into that place, you're feeling kind of awkward, and then you're thinking, oh, do I got a booger hanging out my nose, or, is my fly done, or, whatever it is. But all of those anxiety, those fears, this, all of those things that we go through when we start doing something new and foreign, those are going to happen, okay? But the thing is that we got to press through, and that's where the consistency is so important, okay? The easiest thing you're ever going to do is start making the money. The hardest thing you'll ever do is hold on to it and start making it work for you, okay? And the thing is that motivation will come and go, all right? Some days you get up and woo, you're just going 90 miles an hour and everything. And then some days you're like, oh man, I don't want to go, I don't want to do this, why am I here? So, what we've done is we're becoming acclimated because we know our emotions are going to tell us to do different things. Saving money, becoming rich, and getting from being poor is going to be a logical decision that you make. A plus B equals C equals D. Emotions are going to be like what? Well, I just don't think that I want to put that much money away. And, I had a rich person be mean to me one time, and, I really don't need all that money. And, crap! You need as much money as the world will give you, okay? Because the more you have, the better off you are, the more decisions, the more people you can help, the more things you can do, and the more decisions that you get to make, okay? And I'm not telling you that money is the end-all be-all, because look at Steve Jobs. He was dying from cancer, had a tremendous amount of money, and his life just wasn't there, okay? But every person that I've ever talked to that has money, they say, being broke sucks. It really does, And, it's like one person told me, it's hard being broke, it's hard being rich, you need to pick your hard. All right, every one of these suggestions are suggestions that I have done myself, okay? All of these suggestions are either done exactly or real close to virtually every other person that I've ever talked with that is in a position that I would trade places with, okay? Be very careful on who it is that you take advice from, okay? Because it doesn't make sense to go and talk to somebody about how to stay married for a long time if they've been divorced 8 times, okay? A buddy of mine, he'd been divorced, I think, about 8 times, and he tried to tell me, and I said, man, you're an expert on getting divorced. If I ever am married and I need a divorce, I'm coming to you and I'm talking to you because you're an expert on it. You're not an expert on marriage. Oh man, I said, I'm just saying. So again, the easiest thing you're ever going to do is make money. The hardest thing you'll ever do is make it work for you, okay? Just go ahead and take my word for it. Emotionally, this is going to be a roller coaster for you, okay? And you got to get acclimated to it because it's not going to feel comfortable. It will induce, and change is going to be coming with it, and that's never any fun. However, the rewards on the other side are absolutely phenomenal, okay? And this is just an extension of loving yourself, because what it is that we're doing is we're making our life more stable, okay? Everybody I know that lives paycheck to paycheck, man, it's just, the car starter goes, oh my God, the starter on my car went out. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. Every time I seem to get ahead and then, 3 steps forward, 6 steps backwards. I just can't catch a break. It ain't that you can't catch a break. It's that you're not willing to make a platform or a foundation that the universe can give you a break, okay? Because you're making everything to where there can't be anything out of the ordinary go on, and that's just not realistic. That's not life, okay? Life is going to throw you a curve. You got to be prepared for it. So, if I can help you in any way, send me an email, reach out. I'll be more than happy to try to help you as best I can and everything like that. And like I said, consistency and discipline are the things. I mean, if you look at how Jeff Bezos started Amazon, okay, in his house, and I know that people heckled him and said, you're crazy, it'll never be that good and everything, but I tell you what, that boy is laughing to the bank every day of the week, okay? And he's laughing so hard that he's probably saying, well, that guy that's laughing at me in Florida, I'd just buy Florida. That guy that's laughing about me in Rhode Island, I'll just buy Rhode Island. Or he's saying, I don't want to be anywhere where anybody can get in touch with me. I'm going to get one of them private desert islands with armed guards all the way around it and everything so nobody can get in touch with me. Do you have that choice? Do I have that choice? No, we don't. The thing about it is that he has choices. He has freedom. My freedom is a lot less than his is. It's Rental Robert with the Hustle Nation. If I could be in any assistance, please reach out. Check out the Hustle Nation store. The link is in the description. And remember, be productive, be profitable, and realize it ain't always going to be easy, but it's worth it.